You gotta love to watch Larry Bird in action because he makes the game so beautiful.
Larry Bird was a pain in the neck. Anytime we had a chance to win, Larry Bird changed that.
3 seconds, 2, Bird, a runner. It's good!
Larry was the originator of getting in your face and talking trash.
Probably a little off balance.
Bird with the steal behind the back that made Archibald back to Bird.
But he knew how to aggravate you, agitate you enough to get you out of your game.
With a few people standing there, I started playing more and more and started to develop my skills and really take my game to another level.
Larry Bird was an absolute force on the court, a legend in his own right, tearing up the playbook and showing the NBA's finest just how the game should be played.
Won't go. Bird the rebound. Over his head to McHale.
His killer instinct, tactical brilliance, and ice-cold clutch plays not only won him games, but the awe of icons like Jordan himself.
Bird in the corner, double fake, jumper, it's good!
In this video, we'll dive deep into how Larry Bird showed NBA legends who is the boss, showcasing his top plays and the respect he commanded from fellow icons. Stay with us to relive the glory days of Bird's unparalleled career. James Worthy, a Titan in the Hall of Fame, once admitted, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid." This statement hits the mark on the profound difference between these two giants. Jordan wowed the crowds with his explosive athleticism, but Bird, he was a mastermind, playing a deeper, more cunning game.
Celtics with the advantage here. Bird back to DJ. Yes, and he fouled.
He wasn't just a scorer, he was a game changer in every sense, often orchestrating plays without even touching the ball.
Right, too tiny.
Larry, a little fake down the lane between the legs to Roby. Good, and he's fouled.
To those who only glance at the score sheets, Jordan's numbers might seem to catapult him far beyond Bird, but Bird's influence was far more nuanced. One heated match in Phoenix, the Celtics lagging significantly at halftime, Bird steps onto the court in the third quarter and, believe it or not, doesn't shoot once. Instead, he dishes out 7 assists, puppeteering a massive comeback win purely through strategic playmaking.
Really establishing that good position. Nice speed. Wow.
That's the Bird effect, impacting the game profoundly without ever needing to score. Michael Jordan was phenomenal, no doubt, but he needed the ball to leave his mark. Bird, he was the master without it.
Here's the way to play offensive basketball, unselfishly.
Think back to the 1986 NBA season, a time stacked with legends like Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Despite the star-studded lineup, Larry Bird owned the league, grabbing the MVP title 3 years straight from 1984 to 1986. His all-around dominance and leadership were unmatched, even in an era of basketball giants.
Bird one-on-one, Dominique trying to contain him a little bit. And there's Dominique with the right hand, well below the ball.
The 1986 playoffs gave us the first epic showdown between Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. In Game 1, Jordan lit up the scoreboard with 49 points, but Bird was the real game changer, dropping 30 points, dishing out 8 assists, snagging 6 rebounds, and stealing the ball 3 times.
They don't have that touch. Bird for 3.
Leading the Celtics to victory. By Game 2, Jordan knew he was up against a force, saying,
I think it's going to be more of a 5-man game, and we really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
Jordan went nuclear in Game 2, scoring an insane 63 points, breaking records left and right. But Bird and the Celtics defense held strong. They threw everything at Jordan, and despite his heroics, Bird walked away with the most important stat: the win. Bird put it perfectly. That wasn't Michael Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. The Celtics swept the Bulls that year and went on to win the championship. The following year, they faced Jordan again in the playoffs and swept the Bulls once more. This dominance sparked a fiery question. If Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but never beat Larry Bird, what does that make Larry Bird? During these early battles, Jordan didn't have Scottie Pippen by his side. When Pippen joined, the clashes grew even more intense. Still, Bird held his ground. In the 1987-88 season, Jordan had his best statistical year, winning the scoring title, steals title, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest. Yet Bird outplayed Jordan in 3 of their 4 encounters that season, including a jaw-dropping 44-point performance.
Larry rolling through, tough shot. Oh, yeah, and a foul.
Isaiah Thomas, another NBA legend, provided perspective on Jordan's 1980s career. He said,
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, he was MVP. The best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the Defensive Player of the Year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We beat them 4-1. He never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem. He never won. What I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bird, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
Thomas wants to get it in quickly. Does to Lambeer. Stolen by Bird and the cut to DJ. Yes! Yes, and a foul!
Oh, my! What a mistake by Detroit. They should have called timeout.
Bird comes out of nowhere. I mean, it was like a streak of lightning.
1 second left. Bird steals it and gets it to Johnson at the buzzer. What a play by...
even when injuries tried to slow him down, Bird always brought the heat against Jordan. Take a regular season game in the late 80s, for instance. Bird, fresh off foot surgery and battling a back injury, faced a prime Jordan and Pippen. With the game tied and 10 seconds left, the Celtics had the ball. Despite being double-teamed by Jordan and Pippen, Bird nailed the game-winning shot, showcasing his clutch magic like no one else could.
Third low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper, good.
Pat Riley, an NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player, once said, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird." This quote perfectly captures the unparalleled trust and reliability Bird commanded, especially when everything was on the line.
Loops it to Bird, a runner.
It's good! It's good! And the Celtics win it!
By 1989, the Celtics weren't the East powerhouse anymore, and Larry Bird was no longer the NBA's top dog. Bird had double Achilles tendon surgery, sidelining him for nearly a year. The Celtics now face fierce competition from the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls, with a more mature and dominant Michael Jordan leading the charge. Once Bird was healthy again, he was determined to prove his worth.
Well, we really don't know right now, but I think I'm making good progress, and hopefully I'll be back a little bit earlier than March. But
Really?
The doctors tell me right around March the 1st, but hopefully I can get back a little bit sooner.
Boy, that would be great. The league needs you, your team needs you, we all need you.
In just his second game back, he faced off against the Chicago Bulls at the United Center. The Celtics, still leaning on their aging stars, believed that if Bird played his best, they could still compete at a high level. The matchup between the Bulls and the Celtics was highly anticipated. The Bulls had reached the conference finals the previous season, while the Celtics had been knocked out in the first round. Jordan felt confident he could finally defeat Boston, even with Bird on the court. The game featured a unique twist, with the Paxson brothers, John and Jim, going head-to-head. The game began with both teams undefeated at 1-0. Bird showcased his exceptional vision early, finding Jim Paxson for an easy basket. Bird's playmaking from the low post was remarkable. The Celtics' aggressive defense paid off when John Bagley stole the ball from Jordan and set up Bird for a tough floater. The Celtics knew they had to play tight to beat the Bulls at United.
Jordan steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk.
Bird and Jordan's rivalry was palpable throughout the game. Bird was a force from the low post, giving Scottie Pippen a hard time. Bird's fadeaway from mid-range was unstoppable. Bagley assisted Bird, who took advantage of a good Parrish screen and Pippen's lazy defense. However, Pippen, now more seasoned, attacked the hoop fearlessly. Jordan also started finding his groove. The Bulls took an early lead. Kevin McHale hit an impressive fadeaway, but the Bulls' fast-paced transition game saw Pippen dunk on a fast break. Bird answered with a deep mid-range shot and another bucket from the low post. Despite Bird's 10 first-quarter points, the Bulls led 31-27. the Celtics also had to worry about other Bulls like Bill Cartwright and Horace Grant, who were playing well. Bird knew beating Chicago would be tough. In the second quarter, the Celtics closed the gap, trailing by just 1 point at halftime, 49-48, thanks to Bird's difficult shots. Bird's textbook hook shots and open mid-range shots kept Boston close. With 15 points at halftime, Bird's performance was a positive sign for Jimmy Rogers. Bird started the second half strong, hitting a transition mid-range shot, but Phil Jackson's halftime talk fired up the Bulls. Jordan scored, and the Bulls took a 7-point lead with a full-court lob pass from Jordan to Pippen. Bird responded immediately with a similar play, catching and finishing a full-court outlet pass. The Bulls won the third quarter by 4 points, extending their lead to 5. With 12 minutes left, the Celtics needed to outscore the Bulls by 6 to win away from home. Bird created his own shot from mid-range after a Bagley assist. Using a McHale screen, Bird got open on the right wing. The Celtics finally took the lead. John Paxson tied the game with a clutch mid-range shot, giving the United Center hope for a Bulls victory.
Timeout Boston with 18.6 left.
But Larry Bird silenced the crowd.
Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper, good.
He hit a spectacular fadeaway from the low post against 2 defenders, with Jordan rushing to help. It wasn't enough. Larry showed he was still the same Bird.
Quickly. Bird's jumper, good. 3.6 seconds left. Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a 2-point lead.
The Celtics defense held firm, preventing Jordan from taking a game-winning shot. The Celtics triumphed over the Bulls. Larry Bird outplayed Michael Jordan. More than 300 days after his injury, Bird proved his doubters wrong. The Celtics won that game, but the playoffs were a reality check, as they fell in the first round to Patrick Ewing's Knicks. Bird maintained stellar averages of 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists per game, but his supporting cast was no longer the best in the league. As Larry Bird's legendary career was winding down and Michael Jordan's dynasty was just taking off, 1991 gave us one last epic showdown. In an electrifying double overtime battle, Bird turned back the clock, outplaying Jordan in the clutch moments and leading the Celtics to a stunning victory.
Larry Bird.
That same year, Jordan clinched his first championship, signaling the dawn of his era. Bird, recognizing the changing of the guard, once recalled, "Larry and I were talking and Michael walks in and says, 'There's a new sheriff in town.' We both knew he was right." Bird hung up his sneakers the following season, but had one final opportunity to share the court with Jordan during the 1992 Dream Team's historic run. Playing alongside the best of the best, Bird and Jordan dazzled fans, showcasing their unmatched talent on what many still consider the greatest team ever assembled. Reflecting on their rivalry, Bird said, "You had a fantastic career, even though you ruined many of my great games against the Celtics. I'll catch you on the golf course someday." Larry Bird wasn't just a scorer. He was a leader, a playmaker, and a clutch performer. From his fierce rivalries to his clutch performances, Larry Bird showed why he's one of the greatest to ever play the game.
Stolen by Bird at half court. Off to McHale, back to Bird. Larry stops, jumper, good!
His impact on basketball is undeniable, and his legacy will continue to inspire future generations. And now, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Larry Bird moment? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more insights into the greatest moments and players in NBA history.